Gadget God here, and today is the next episode of Complete Nintendo 64 Collection, where you guys get to come along with me on my journey to collect every North American Nintendo 64 game. There's 296 of them, and today we have some real big ones. We actually have one of the holy grails, one of the hardest games to get for the Nintendo 64. Now again, just some of the rules in case you guys haven't seen the previous episodes. I will show you all the details of how I got each game, the details of what my childhood memories are of it, and again, I do take any donations. If you guys want to leave a message down below, I'll reach out to you. You guys can feel free to donate anything, whether it's just a game cart or a box or a manual, whatever it is, anything Nintendo 64, I want it, because it's really going to help me on this ridiculous journey. Ridiculous, it's the Gadget God's middle name. So we're going to go ahead and open up with one of the whiz bangers. This is one of the holy grails for the Nintendo 64 collection. Now, I certainly applaud this seller on their exceptional packaging job. Now, while this cartridge is not in absolute mint condition, that's for a certain reason. This is actually in a really, really good condition given the situation that this game was released in, which I'll tell you in 1 second. And here we have the box for it. Again, it's not in the best condition, but one of the reasons why this is one of the holy grails for the Nintendo 64 United States collection is because of that thing right there. Blockbuster exclusive. So the story behind this game is it was actually so bad, yes, bad. This was a terrible, terrible game that Blockbuster got the exclusive rights to release it because the company did not feel confident enough to release this in stores. They knew it wouldn't sell that well. So Blockbuster got the exclusive rights to it. You don't believe me? There it is, Blockbuster exclusive. While I tell you the story, I'll show you all the details of the box. Some creasing up along here. But you notice there's no sun fading. There's that Blockbuster video. That proves its authenticity. And it's got all the pieces on the inside. We can just carefully, oh, give me that. Not even sure. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. I've never actually seen one of these before. So the story, I'll show you that in 1 second. The story behind this is that it was a Blockbuster exclusive, which means the only way that you could get this game, and by that I mean the game cartridge, was to not return it to Blockbuster back in the day. That was the only way to get this, and these were plastered in Blockbuster stickers. I guarantee that's why there's that tear there, because it's used to have a property of Blockbuster sticker over it. You have to peel that off the entire label. There's no sticker residue or anything. The back is very, very clean. And I'm actually going to open this up. You can see the contacts are super clean. I'm going to open this game up in a different episode, so I do have the link down there below. Is my Beast Wars Transmetals a fake game? So check out the link for that down below. We'll find out if the ROM inside is authentic or not. I know it is because you can see I got the box and everything. You can see the age and the Blockbuster sticker on the back. But this is one of the holy grails. Very few of these were made. And again, if you wanted to get the cartridge, you had to not return it to Blockbuster. Or get very lucky when Blockbuster decided to sell their games, you had to be there first in line to buy this game because then it would come with the box and the manual. The manual is just as rare as the box, but we can see here, let me move this cardboard out of the way. The seller did an amazing job actually packaging that up. Whenever I buy something off of eBay for a less than average price, I always ask the person to box it up real safe like that in a specific way. But let me see if there's any other papers in there. No, no other papers in there. This is actually that cardboard insert that slides in there. So obviously that's an exceptional condition, but this is the real deal. This is one of the holy grails. This is a very expensive game, and that's for the reasons that I just described to you. Now, I've actually never seen this before, so let's see what it says on here. Game title, manufacturer, game system, players, save function, rating. So this is pretty crazy. Look, it says down here, let me just zoom in case somebody wants to do more research on what this is. This actually looks like an official Blockbuster insert, something that would describe information that only Blockbuster got, but they wouldn't have put this in the box. Look at this, look at this. Game description describes the game, very cool. A little bit lower, Blockbuster gameplay tips. Press and hold the Z button. So these are exclusive Blockbuster tips. So read that, pause it if you need to. Then down here at the bottom, it's got the Blockbuster logo down there. So this piece of paper, whatever the heck you would call this, is probably even more rare than the Transformers Beast Wars cartridge, and even more rare than even the box. So let me know if you know what this thing is called. Maybe this is like the back last page or middle page or something of the instruction manual. I don't have the instruction manual, unfortunately, but again, this is one of the top 5 for sure holy grails for the Nintendo 64, and I got it. I need the manual now, killing me. You know, it breaks my heart I don't have the manual, and I am going to be looking for a cart upgrade. You know, that tear on there breaks my heart, but oh, it's beautiful otherwise. This is beautiful. And again, check the link down below for a video of me opening this up and we can see the inside to prove that it's authentic. But man, this is awesome. They didn't mention that this came with it. I will also toss in there, I did manage to acquire this for a less than the average selling price of the extremely rare box and cartridge. Less than average selling price is what I got it for. I never played this as a kid because I live in too rural of an area for there to be Blockbusters. We had a place called Video Stop. There was 2 of them. There was one right in our tiny town. They no longer exist, sadly, but we used to rent N64 games from them all the time. If you don't believe me, Snowboard Kids was one of the games that we would rent the most often from Video Stop. So we didn't have a Blockbuster, which means I'd never heard of this game until maybe a couple years ago. But one of the holy grails, we got it. Awesome condition, and it has this extremely rare, I want to know why this is torn off. So if you have any more details on this piece of paper here, this is extremely rare, even more rare than probably the box and the manual for this game. So super excited, have one of the top 5 holy grails for the N64 collection. Let's move on. Moving on to some more goodness. Now there is a gentleman that I met on eBay because strangely enough, he shares the same ridiculous passion that I do of loving the Nintendo 64. And his name is, let's call him Frank. Let's just call him Frank because that's his name. Frank, this one's for you. Frank is probably the coolest. He's been really fun to go back and forth with on information about rare games, uncommon rares, and this game right here, which I actually purchased from Frank directly, is an uncommon rare. Now what the heck is an uncommon rare? An uncommon rare is a game that is actually very rare, or at the very least uncommon to get complete in box, but nobody really knows that yet. The N64 isn't cool enough yet for people to understand that there are some games that maybe they're not rare, but they're certainly right up next to being rare. So I did get this from Frank for about an average price, and that's because this very rarely comes up complete in box on eBay or anywhere else. So while I like to get my things for as dirt cheap as possible, because I'm going for the whole set, $296, that ain't cheap, that ain't easy. I'm going crazy, but we're all a little crazy in our own way. So I got this for about an average price of complete in box. The front of it is a little pressed in, but that's common because who the heck cared enough about In the Zone 2000? Now this is not a game that I had when I was a kid. Open it on the red side if you want to get right to the game. That's the game side. But we can see the box, besides this indentation on the front, is actually in very good condition. Tiny bit of sun fading on the front, very minimal sun fading, but other than that, we have a really good find here. Go ahead and pull out the careful. And one of the things I like about Frank is he's as crazy as I am, and he loves to get complete in box, which is all of the manuals, not just the instruction manual in the box, but all the ones that would have originally came with a game when it was originally released, such as this consumer information packet. We have the instruction guide here. We can see it's been pretty well used, but not very much. I'd put this in very good condition. It does have that sticker on the front, so I'm sure this was a previous rental. Do have a little bit of sticker residue here from where the same sticker that was actually on the front, this one up here, was removed from the front of the box. But given how uncommon rare this game is, this is a really good find. And you can see it has that same sticker on the front of the cartridge as well. Go ahead and show the back. Other than the sticker on it, this is in immaculate condition. We can see the contacts are all beautiful down there. Beautiful. So NBA in the Zone, uncommon rare. If you don't know, you're trying to collect the N64. NBA in the Zone, this is an uncommon rare. Very difficult to find, very rarely posted, complete in box. It's easy to get the cartridge. Almost all these N64 games, it's easy to get the cartridge, but what's really difficult is getting this box and the manual, and then especially any other paperwork that came when the game was originally released brand new. NBA in the Zone 2000, we got it, we did it. Let's move on to the next games. Remember I was talking about my buddy Frank? Frank loves N64 games as much as I do. Well, I actually bought some more games from him. This is actually the transaction that started Frank and I's friendship. I bought from him, the first game that I ever bought from him was Space Station Silicon Valley. And if you don't know about Space Station Silicon Valley, I'll give you the details in 1 second. I love the way that he packages his games so safely. You better package them safely. It's what we need. It's what we all need. Now, Space Station Silicon Valley right here. This is a very difficult game to find, especially complete in box. And here's something I guarantee you didn't know. This game was actually made by the people who made Grand Theft Auto. So this was DMA Designs, one of their early games. They had a couple on the Nintendo 64. Body Harvest is another one. I'll show you that as soon as I acquire that in a future video. We can go ahead and look at the condition here. This is an open world game where what you do is you take control of different animals. The idea is that you're kind of possessing those animals with your little robot microchip, and then you control those animals in an open world and do different things. So this is one of the early open world games, before open world was even a concept that people talked about. You can see the box is in very, very good condition. It does have this ding here up at the top, and then on the back it does have some indentation on the back, but this is extremely difficult to get complete in box. And I got this for about an average price. This was one of the first games that I actually bought when I decided to go for the complete North American N64 set. So I paid a little more than I wanted to, but again, it's in really, really good shape. You can see it has the tray insert here, and then here's the cartridge. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. That is a beautiful cartridge. What am I talking about? If you don't know, then you don't know, but I'll teach you. And again, this has all the inserts here, consumer information, the player's guide offer, and the manual is in mint condition as well. So this is not one of the games that I even knew existed back in the day when I was a kid, and that's because this was not a very widely released game, and it certainly wasn't a popular game. The title, Space Station Silicon Valley, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? But again, this was the people who ended up making Grand Theft Auto 3, DMA Designs. This was one of their early games. So it has that Grand Theft Auto feel before we knew what Grand Theft Auto was. Again, I got this for about an average complete in box price, but it's very rare to find this come up as complete in box. Now, once I had purchased, or at least made a best offer to my friend Frank on eBay, I started the conversation with him that I'm actually going for the complete North American set. And Frank told me, hey, that's actually kind of funny because I am trying to do the same thing. So I said, any other N64 games that you have complete in box that you want to sell to me, please let me know. I would love to do a bundle deal. So Frank and I actually worked out a bundle deal. So I got all of these games from him, this 4-pack, including Space Station Silicon Valley, for a reduced price than if I had purchased them all separately. And a nice bonus, he threw in these box protectors. Again, check out my video for best retro box protectors that you can get. I'll go ahead and show you what we have here. I'm going to start with Armament Sarge's Heroes because this game's actually really good. Back in the day, this was a third-person shooter, which was not very common, and the gameplay is easy, the gameplay is fun, and the graphics are nice. If you have the expansion pack for this, designed for the N64 expansion pack, it really increased the graphics. It was actually, the mode is called higher resolution in the settings, and that really increased the draw distance and the graphical resolution of this game. You can see we have a video sticker on the front. This is a previous video store rental, but as we notice on the back, there is no video store sticker. That's because the rental stores back in the days, they didn't put the box out, they put the cartridge and the manual into a plastic case, and that's what you rented. You can see all sides of this are really nice. We do have this crease on the top. These boxes are so fragile. I'm surprised that any of these lasted that long. A lot of boxes got sun damage on the front as well, but this one does not have sun damage. So we see the manual is in excellent condition besides that video store sticker. And then we have the cartridge here, which again is in really good condition. It does have that marker on the back there. It looks like someone's name's on there. Jonathan, it says Jonathan on here. So because of those reasons, I will be looking for a cart upgrade at some point, and probably a manual upgrade as well. But I got all 3 of these games for a below average price. That's because I worked out a bundle deal. As I've said before, bundle deals will always save you money. You will always win in the end by doing a bundle deal with someone. So find out if someone wants to sell you multiple games all at one time, save money. Army Men's Hardest Heroes, really cool game. Let me know what your memories are of it below. There is a sequel, and I did recently acquire the sequel, so look forward to seeing that in a future episode. Next game we have here also came from Frank. Thank you, Frank. 007, The World Is Not Enough. Now, this came out after GoldenEye 007 came, and it is by a different developer. You notice it was not done by Rare. This was done by EA Games. And because of that, it actually isn't as good. I'm not saying this isn't a good game. It's actually a very good game, but it's not as good as GoldenEye. One thing that worked out really well for EA is they kind of got to copy the GoldenEye concept and mechanics and template. So it was much easier for EA to make this game than it was for Rare, the developers of GoldenEye, to create all these original concepts. So it does have 4-player multiplayer. It's designed for the expansion pack. Now, we rented this maybe once or twice. We can see here, not only is the box in great condition besides that little crunch damage up there, Captain Crunch, but the instruction manual is in beautiful shape. I like that it's in a protective bag. That makes me smile. I'm not going to use it anyways. I'll just Google it if I need to. But one of the nice things about this game is it was fun. It's not GoldenEye 2, even though some might want to believe it is. Cartridge is in beautiful shape. But this definitely is a good game. It's kind of like, it's like a poor man's GoldenEye, but it's definitely a good game. It's definitely worth it. This is one that we rented a couple times from Video Stop. Second mention, Video Stop was still around. They'd have to give me some sort of bonus funding or sponsorship. But I got this again for a below average price because I did a bundle deal. This is not as good as GoldenEye, but it's definitely a fun retro first-person shooter. Retro, like the N64 is that old. So if you don't have it, I definitely recommend it. It is really fun. And it comes in that fun blue cartridge. Great condition, super happy to have this in the collection. And then the last game that I got for Frank, at least for now, is Paperboy. Now Paperboy, the graphics are very different than they are in the original Paperboy, which is a super popular one everybody knows from the original Nintendo and the arcades. Do a little bit of creasing here along the top. But Paperboy 64, if you look in the back, had these crazy cartoon graphics, and this is a game that we did own as kids. It was actually very fun because this is kind of during the time of the Tony Hawk games. So in Paperboy, you could do BMX tricks, you could do bike tricks, and that was actually really cool. I'm a big fan of extreme sports, so as a kid, I really liked that you could do bar spins and tail whips and all that stuff. So Paperboy was kind of ahead of its time. Box is in really good condition. Got the instruction manual here. This is a fun game. It's I would say it certainly has much more depth than the original Paperboy, and the same concepts, the same idea behind the gameplay. So if you haven't played this and you like the original Paperboy at all, go for it. Definitely, this is worth your money, and it's not an expensive game. You can see here, this cartridge is literally in mint condition, clean contacts, all that good stuff. So another game from Frank, my man. I know he's gonna watch it. I know you're watching, Frank. This one's for you. But Paperboy is a great game. It's not expensive, so if you don't have it or you're interested at all, I definitely recommend it. Alright guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of Complete Nintendo 64 Collection, where you did get to see one of the Holy Grails. And not only is the box in really good condition, considering that this was never really meant to end up in your home. And you did see the incredibly rare, probably almost never before seen, whatever the heck this guide is for Transformers Beast Wars. This little insert that describes blockbuster gameplay tips. So you guys got to see some really good stuff in this one. Don't lie, it was good. No stickers on this cartridge. Crazy stuff. So look for the next episode of Complete Nintendo 64 Collection. Again, if you guys have any donations, feel free to make them. I will take anything N64. We're getting up there. We're still double digits in N64 games that we have, but and we're closer than we were a couple episodes ago. So again, I do take any donations. Feel free to leave a message below, let me know, and I'll get right back to you. Like, comment, subscribe. Why haven't you subscribed yet? You're killing me. You're killing me. I'm the Gadget God. I do the research, so you never have to. Thanks for watching, everybody, and get your holy grail today.